Papa Bear, can you bring us some things we should know?
I think I can.
All right.
Now, I may have
Here we
Roll
go.
into the
Here we
good.
I
go.
may have to bring a correction to something that Rich said earlier.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Fact checker.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I'm
You
going.
love doing this.
Yeah,
Don't pretend like you don't love
I'm
it.
going.
Don't.
I'm going to go back to combat chaplains.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wait, the number of combat chaplains that died, is that what you're going to correct them on?
No.
Is it like 413 and not 412?
well, what
I saw him look when he said that. I was like, oh, come on, PB.
I'm going to go back and correct the question of whether this was the first time Hollywood worked with the Army.
Okay.
So
To be
Wait.
clear, I said Army chaplain.
Chaplains.
yeah.
Cool.
Not Army.
Oh,
And there's a difference.
okay.
So the U.S. Army is like big Army, and then the Army Chaplain Corps is kind of
Yeah.
its own.
So
Very key distinction.
yeah, they don't throw these chaplains out there, without some training. So there is a Army Chaplain Corps training school, and so this question has a little bit of a preamble. The first session of the U.S. Army Chaplain School was in March of 1918 at Fort Monroe, Virginia. The training school moved 5 more times between World War I and World War II, when it was moved to a university where the number of students increased from 75 to 450. While located there, the Army made an instructional film for the school in Hollywood titled For God and Country, which portrayed 4 chaplains being trained at the school. My question is, during this time, at what university was the U.S. Army Chaplain School located, and what actor played the part of the Catholic chaplain?
Woo.
Okay, I can answer half of that.
Okay.
But I'll let someone see if they can answer.
That's very impressive,
Before I go.
Rich, that you can even
Wow.
answer half of that.
That's great.
Okay.
UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay, that's your guess. UNC Chapel Hill. Wow. Okay. PB, what year was Forgotten Country made again? Please.
1942 or 3. Let's see.
So it was made towards the end of World War II.
Well, it was at this university between 42 and 45.
Okay, between 42
So
and 45.
the film came
at
in the
this
early part of
university.
that.
Nick is guessing UNC Chapel Hill. And I'm going to guess West Point. So Army University, West Point. And the actor is none other.
Right.
It's so stupid. I'm going to say
guess. Just do it.
Clark Gable.
Okay.
There's couldn't be a more wrong answer, I'm sure. Okay, Nick, do you have an actor name?
I'm stuck on the time frame. I can't think of an actor. I might have
Stephen
to throw my.
Fetchit.
You're right. I'm gonna have to throw my guess to Sam. Sam, you got anything on this
Sam,
one,
what
man?
do you got?
I don't have the actor on this one.
Sam's like, what is 1918?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm stuck.
Rich,
I'm
what do
stuck.
you? Can you answer this?
He's got half of it. Let's go for half of it, Rich.
I've got half of it, so I don't know the university. I will say, in Papa Bear's defense, that the chaplains were started by George Washington. So we've had a long time, and even if there is just one prior collaboration, that's still pretty thin. But I'm going to say that the actor is none other than Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Wow. 80s, 40.
42.
Okay.
All right, PB.
What do you got?
What's the answer?
The actor was Ronald Reagan. played
Ding, ding, ding,
the
ding, ding.
Catholic chaplain.
Bang, Biscuit.
Yeah,
That is incredible.
Rich wasn't guessing. He said, "I
He
know
knew
half of this answer."
He was super confident. He's like, I got that.
Well, I'll
That's
tell
right,
you how
yeah.
I know that. Like, we used some stock footage in the Fighting Spirit Combat Chaplain's Journey film, and it was just, we just needed old school footage of chaplains going to chaplain school, and so we just found it and we threw it in, and the editor and I were watching it one day, and she's like, "That guy looks so familiar. Who is that guy?" And we spent, I mean, I don't know how much technology we used to like zoom in this grainy footage and find Ronald Reagan in a crowd of people being, at the chaplain school.
Wow.
And so if you watch the film, it's a little Easter egg in the film. If you watch the film, it's in there. And we don't highlight it and we don't point it out, and there's no arrow at his head like Ronald
Right.
Reagan, here's the president. But if you know it's in there, you'll see it now.
That's cool,
that's,
man.
That's remarkable. Just the idea that Ronald Reagan was acting at the time that Ayn Rand was trying to write screenplays. Well, it blows my mind.
Well,
Papa Bear,
The university.
The university.
I think it's equally surprising that with the film being made in Hollywood, what university the school was at.
Okay.
The answer is
UCLA.
So you're walking us down the slippery slope here.
yeah, it's nowhere close. It was at Harvard in Massachusetts, Cambridge.
Of course. Harvard. So I was closest by proximity, right? Like by,
Well,
Nick's guessing North Carolina, North Kakalaki.
but yes,
I know we're close to Harvard.
You understand, but you see why I picked it.
I did. It was actually smart. It had a logical. I saw your synapses connecting.
Exactly.
but the school was at Harvard during those years. It moved again. It's moved a total of 16 times, and it's now in South Carolina. So,
Okay.
where there is a museum, combat chaplain museum.
Is it always moving, Papa Bear, due to the increase in enrollment? Is that why it's always
part
moving?
of it was that, and part of it was where there were facilities and room for it, and depending on the number of people. Obviously, during World War II, they needed more chaplains, and just moving it to Harvard, like you saw in the preamble, moved it up to 450 people. It actually shut down some after World War I for a period of time, and then started back up in like 1920. But yeah, it's been moving around. It's
according to the research.
it's in it's in
It has moved 16 times.
Fort Jackson.
It's in Fort Jackson, right now.
South Carolina. Yeah. So,
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
All around the world, this thing is gone. That is Papa Bear. Guess what?
what?
You did it again. That is a thing we should know. And you just gave us yet another icebreaker at a cocktail party in which we know no one.
That's right.
Yes. We can find a way, we can wiggle our way in with this little gem of information, and it's perfectly aligned with our guest today. So good job, Papa Bear.
All right.
Yep. Well done.